Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to talk about a universal truth that resonates with almost everyone. They will regret losing you. This phrase may sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It holds a mirror to the reality of human relationships, whether they're with friends, family, colleagues, or romantic partners. So many of us at one point or another find ourselves in situations where we pour our heart's time and effort into people who fail to see our worth until it's too late. Imagine this, there's a young woman named Sarah. She's been in a relationship for years, where she has been the backbone, the person who is always there through thick and thin. She encourages her partner, supports him, and goes out of her way to make his life better. She sacrifices her time, dreams, and sometimes even her own happiness to make sure he's okay. But over time, her partner becomes complacent. He stops showing appreciation, stops acknowledging her efforts, and even starts taking her kindness for granted. To him, her love and loyalty seem like things that will always be there no matter what. He thinks, perhaps unconsciously, that she'll always put him first. But one day, Sarah realizes that she deserves more. She deserves to feel valued, respected, and cherished. She makes the difficult decision to leave, to focus on her own growth and happiness. Suddenly, her partner is left alone, surrounded by a silence he didn't expect. He starts to notice the empty spaces where her love and care used to be. He misses her little gestures, the way she would always cheer him up on bad days, the warmth of her presence. That's when he understands just how much he lost, how much he took for granted, and regrets begin to set in. By then, though, it's too late. Sarah has moved on, realizing her own worth, and he is left to reflect on the love and loyalty he will never find in quite the same way again. Or think of a dedicated friend, someone like David. David is the kind of friend who would drop everything to be there when you need him. When his friends are going through tough times, he's there to lend a listening ear, to offer advice, to lift their spirits. He organizes gatherings, checks in regularly, and always makes others feel cared for and appreciated. But over time, his friends start to assume he'll always be there. They start reciprocating his efforts, forgetting to reach out, making little effort to include him in their lives. David starts to feel like he's giving more than he's receiving, that his friendship is being taken for granted. Eventually, David decides he needs to protect his own energy. He stops reaching out, creating distance to focus on his own happiness. His friends initially might not even notice, but soon they start to feel his absence. They miss his encouragement, his support, and the laughter he always brought to the group. They realize that David wasn't just another friend, he was the glue that held them together, the one who made their lives brighter. In that silence, they understand that they lost someone irreplaceable, and the regret of taking his friendship for granted sets in. This theme is also common in families. Imagine a young man named Mark who has always been there for his family. He's the responsible one, the sibling who always steps up to help his parents, who makes sacrifices for his brothers and sisters, who puts others before himself. Over the years, his family begins to see his sacrifices as just part of who he is. They assume he'll always be there, that he doesn't mind taking on extra responsibilities. They don't think to thank him, to appreciate the sacrifices he makes. But Mark begins to feel unappreciated, like his family only sees him for what he can give them, not for who he is as a person. Eventually, he makes the difficult decision to move away, to live his own life, to pursue his dreams. His family, who once relied on him so heavily, is suddenly left without the person they could always count on. They start to feel the impact of his absence, realizing how much he did for them, how much he held things together. In his absence, they understand just how much he gave, how much he sacrificed, and the regret settles in as they reflect on how little they showed their gratitude when he was still there. This pattern isn't limited to personal relationships, it shows up in the workplace too. Picture an employee like Linda, who has always gone above and beyond. She's dedicated, hardworking, and always willing to take on extra projects to help her team succeed. Linda is the person who stays late to meet deadlines, who mentors new employees, and who genuinely cares about the company's success. But despite all her hard work, her contributions go unnoticed. Her managers don't acknowledge her efforts, don't offer her promotions or raises, assuming that her dedication is simply part of her job. After years of feeling overlooked, Linda decides it's time for a change. She finds a new job where her talents are valued, where her hard work is recognized and appreciated. When she leaves, her team starts to feel the loss immediately. Projects aren't running as smoothly, productivity takes a hit, and team morale begins to drop. Her managers realize that they lost someone truly valuable, someone who made their workplace better every day. And they regret not showing appreciation sooner, wishing they could turn back time and offer her the recognition she deserved. These examples show how often we take the people around us for granted, assuming they'll always be there, always giving, always supporting. But when they finally leave, when they step away to seek the respect and appreciation they deserve, their absence is felt deeply. That regret, that sense of loss, is a reminder of all the moments when appreciation could have been shown but wasn't. So what can we learn from these stories? First and foremost, if you find yourself in the position of giving too much and receiving too little, remember that your worth does not depend on someone else's ability to see it. Sarah, David, Mark, and Linda all came to understand this. They recognized that their kindness, dedication, and loyalty were precious gifts, and that they had the right to protect their own well-being. They chose to step away from situations where they weren't valued, and in doing so, they allowed others to experience the full impact of their absence. Secondly, if you're lucky enough to have people in your life who show up for you, who give without asking for much in return, take a moment to truly appreciate them. Don't wait until it's too late to recognize the value they bring to your life. Whether it's a friend like David, a family member like Mark, a colleague like Linda, or a partner like Sarah, don't let their efforts go unappreciated. Show them that you value their presence, that you're grateful for everything they do. Express your gratitude while they're still there to hear it, rather than regretting their absence when it's too late. These examples also remind us of the importance of setting boundaries. Sarah, David, Mark, and Linda each reached a point where they realized they needed to put themselves first. They understood that self-worth isn't something that others bestow upon us, it's something we carry within ourselves. By creating distance, by stepping away, they sent a clear message: I am valuable, and I won't allow my worth to be diminished. This is a powerful lesson for all of us. It's okay to walk away from people who don't appreciate you, to step back from situations where your value isn't recognized. Lastly, remember that regret is a powerful emotion, but it can also be a teacher. For those who lost Sarah, David, Mark, and Linda, their absence became a painful lesson. It taught them that relationships, friendships, and professional bonds are not to be taken lightly. It's a lesson that hopefully will change the way they treat others in the future. So let these stories be a reminder that your worth is not defined by someone's ability to see it. And if someone lets you go without appreciating the gifts you bring, it's not your loss, it's theirs. In time, they will feel that regret, and they'll look back, wishing they had valued you more when they had the chance. Thank you.